Hello, my name is Jean Sanchez. The film I watched for my project was Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, Spring. Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, Spring is a South Korean film by director and writer Ki-do Kim. The movie takes place in the wilderness in Korea at a temple which floats on a lake. The film is set in modern times. I chose the South Korean film Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, Spring because Buddhism was one of the religions from the class that really appealed to me. The film also presents the idea of returning to your roots and being able to find refuge at home after being away for so long. I will be presenting three Buddhist beliefs that were represented in the film and how they apply to the main character's development: the three marks of reality, the Four Noble Truths, and the concept of nirvana. I will also compare Buddhism's nirvana with Hinduism's moksha. In the film, a Buddhist monk lives with his younger student on a lake in a floating temple, isolated from modern society. The young monk grows and falls in love with a girl who comes to the temple in search of medicine. He leaves his home to live in the modern world and marry the young girl, but is unable to adapt. One of the religious themes presented in the film is the three marks of reality. One of the three marks of reality is change. Buddhism teaches that life has constant change in every aspect of the world. Throughout the film, we see the constant changing of seasons, which illustrates the different stages of life the young monk is experiencing. As the movie starts, it starts off with spring, which represents the early childhood of the monk. During the summer, it represents the coming of age, where he meets the girl and falls in love. During the fall, it represents his adulthood, where the girl leaves him and he commits a crime of passion and goes to jail for murder. During the winter, it represents his return to the temple. And finally, the spring. As the movie ends, we see the monk, now much older, and has even taken a student of his own. Everyone experiences the same cycle of life as they grow and progress through their own life. Another religious theme represented in the film is the Four Noble Truths. Buddhism teaches that suffering is caused by desire and that suffering is a part of life. When the young monk returns home, we find out that the girl left him for another man and in a fit of anger kills her. It is evident in the film that the situation causes him a lot of emotional stress to an unbearable point. We even see that he tries to commit suicide. Everyone has trouble in their life due to desiring something that they cannot attain. In Buddhism, the concept of nirvana is a state of enlightenment you can reach after being able to release your desires and suffering. When the young monk returns to the temple after serving his time in jail, we see that he has grown much older and seems to be at peace. According to his religious background, we can assume that he has reached nirvana. The concept of nirvana in Buddhism relates to the concept of moksha in Hinduism. Both define the release of the cycle of life and death, and they both represent a state of enlightenment and a peaceful state of mind. Although nirvana and moksha are considered synonymous, the differences between moksha and nirvana is that in nirvana there is no sense of self, while moksha is a state of self-awareness and self-knowledge. In moksha, it is the realization that everything belongs to a single consciousness, while in the state of nirvana, there is no consciousness. After watching the film, I believe the writer, who is also the director and producer and even stars in the film, strongly believes in the power of nirvana. We see in the film that when the young monk, now much older, returns to the temple, there is an apparent change in his character. He prays and meditates more often and intensely, which shows his deepened devotion to his spirituality. He is shown to have learned more about Buddhist practices with a deeper sense of understanding. Returning to the temple, his home, his roots, was his final journey where he could completely fulfill the state of nirvana. That was my project on spring, summer, fall, winter, spring. Thank you.